Hello, and welcome to another episode of Quietly Influential Leadership Lessons for Introverts. I'm your host, Guin White, a leadership and empowerment coach dedicated to helping quiet leaders harness their unique strengths to create impactful change. Today, we're addressing a pervasive myth that can stall even the most driven leaders, the myth of the perfect time. For us quiet leaders who often deliberate deeply and value thoughtful action, this myth can be particularly paralyzing. So let's dive in. So, the idea of a perfect time is seductive. It promises safety, certainty, and success. As quiet leaders who thrive in reflective and well planned environments, waiting for the right moment can often seem like a strategic choice. Unfortunately, however, the perfect time, as much as we would like to believe in it, does not exist. It's a mirage that keeps us from stepping forward. So today, we explore why this myth is particularly impactful for introverted leaders and how it can hinder our professional journeys. The question is, why do we wait? The root of procrastination is often fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of exposure, fear of loss, and even fear of success. For quiet leaders who may naturally shy away from the spotlight and find solace in solitude, these fears can be amplified. So we'll delve into the psychological mechanisms at play and discuss why introverted leaders, despite their amazing capabilities, might hesitate more than their extroverted counterparts. In our exploration of overcoming the myth of the perfect time, let's integrate insights from renowned experts in the field of psychology and leadership, which I'll be sharing. Starting with Dr. Susan Cain, author of Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. She emphasizes that introverts' natural preference for solitude can be a powerful asset when it comes to deep thinking and innovation. And she suggests that introverted leaders should leverage this by scheduling regular intervals of solitude to enhance creativity before then transitioning into action. Next is Adam Grant, an organizational psychologist, and he points out that introverts often excel at leading proactive teams because they listen more than they talk. Grant's research suggests that by encouraging team members to propose new ideas and take initiative, quiet leaders can foster a culture of engagement and innovation without stepping outside their comfort zones. And finally, the beloved and famous Brené Brown, a research professor and expert on vulnerability. Brené teaches that the fear of failure is a common barrier to action, and she advocates for embracing vulnerability in leadership. So for quiet leaders, this might mean openly discussing the risks and uncertainties of a new venture with their team or a trusted manager, which can actually lead to increased trust and collective courage. So these insights provide practical strategies that align with the natural strengths of quiet leaders, encouraging them to step forward with more confidence. Now let's shift our focus to real-life examples of quiet leaders who've challenged the status quo by acting despite uncertainty. We'll look at the journeys of 3 leaders who embrace their introverted nature and yet made significant impacts in their fields by deciding to act. And in fact, we'll actually be taking a look at some of my own clients' success stories that illustrate the power of taking action, even when the timing doesn't seem perfect. So first up is Elizabeth. She's a highly introverted software developer who'd been nurturing an idea for a new app that could revolutionize data management for small businesses. Despite her hesitations about stepping into the CEO role, she was really motivated by her passion for the project. So Elizabeth used her deep thinking skills to meticulously plan the first phase and then shared her vision with a small group of potential investors. To her surprise, they were immediately on board. Her startup has now successfully launched its beta version and is starting to gain traction. So Elizabeth's story shows that taking that first step can turn a dream into a tangible, successful project. Next, we'll talk about Michael, an introverted senior manager in a nonprofit who'd been considering a community-based project to support local artists. Unfortunately, however, he kept delaying, waiting for more resources and better timing. Finally, he decided to start small with the resources available. The project began with just 5 artists, but it quickly grew as the community's enthusiasm drove more funding and more support. So Michael's initiative has not only benefited these artists, but it has also increased the nonprofit's visibility and impact in his community. Something to be really proud of. And finally, there's Tara. She's an introverted consultant with a deep understanding of environmental issues who'd long contemplated expanding her business to include sustainability practices for large corporations. Now, despite her deep expertise, the enormity of stepping into a larger, more competitive market made her really hesitate. So after consulting with me and attending a workshop on leadership courage, which she initially thought was too early in her planning phase, Tara was inspired to use her methodical nature to develop a detailed expansion plan. She started with just one client, a local company looking to improve its sustainability practices. Her success with this one client provided proof of concept, leading to referrals and gradually bigger projects. So Tara's journey underscores that starting with a manageable scope can lead to broader opportunities as confidence and reputation build. So hopefully these stories help to vividly illustrate that the perfect time is often a construct that holds us back way more than it propels us forward. Each of these leaders found success not by waiting for the ideal moment, but instead by seizing the opportunities and resources available to them, however imperfect they might have seemed. So their experiences echo a powerful message for all of us, especially those who lead from a place of introspection and careful planning. Let's let their journeys inspire us all to take that crucial first step. So, how can you, as a quiet leader, move from contemplation to action? Let's explore some actionable strategies tailored to our introverted personalities so that we can learn how to leverage our natural strengths, such as deep thinking, focus, that amazing ability to listen, and making informed and timely decisions. So first up, there's the small steps strategy. It's all about beginning with small, manageable actions that align with your broader goals. This helps minimize the pressure and also builds momentum. So, for example, imagine you're an introverted leader in a tech company and you want to pitch a new project idea. So, instead of waiting for a large meeting or some formal presentation, you start by sharing your idea in smaller, more intimate settings. Perhaps you discuss it with a close colleague over coffee, or you bring it up in a one-on-one with your manager. These smaller steps can help you refine your idea based on feedback and build your confidence before presenting it to a larger group. Next is the reflection to action ratio. What's this, you ask? Well, it's all about balancing your natural inclination for reflection with scheduled actions. That's right, scheduled actions. So it's all about establishing a rhythm that allows time for both thinking and doing. So let's say you're leading a team that's working on a challenging project. You, as the quiet leader, might spend a lot of time reflecting on the best approaches to the project. So to implement the reflection to action ratio, you could schedule specific times for reflection, such as Monday and Wednesday afternoons. Then you would allocate equal or maybe even more time for taking action, such as Tuesday and Thursday mornings, to implement the ideas you've come up with during reflection. This structured approach ensures that reflection leads directly to productive action, keeping your project moving forward. Finally, let's talk about support systems. Of course, this is just all about utilizing your network for support. Although many quiet leaders often prefer to work independently, having a trusted circle can provide the encouragement and accountability we need. So if you're an introverted leader, maybe starting a new initiative, perhaps you identify a mentor or a peer group that understands your specific leadership style and the challenges you face. So, for instance, you could join a leadership development group specifically for quiet leaders, where you can share experiences and strategies in a really supportive environment. This network can provide encouragement and practical advice, making it easier to expand your comfort zone. Additionally, you could set up regular check-ins with a trusted advisor or coach who can help hold you accountable to your goals, as well as navigating any challenges that arise. So understanding these strategies in theory is one step, but then actually seeing how they can be implemented in real scenarios brings them to life. These examples aim to make those practical tips more relatable and actionable and provide clear real-world applications. So naturally, questions come up. Things like, how do I know when it's the right time to act? Well, there will rarely be a sign that the time is perfectly right. Rarely, if ever. Instead, focus on whether the action aligns with your values and goals. And if it does, it's time to move forward. Another question that commonly comes up, what if I fail after taking action? Every leader, quiet or not, faces failure, but it can be particularly instructive for quiet leaders like us. So reflect on what the experience taught you, then adjust your strategy and continue taking actions and moving forward. The perfect time to act truly is a myth, especially for quiet leaders who excel in thoughtful deliberation. The true challenge really lies in balancing reflection with decisive and aligned action. Remember this, leadership isn't just about making decisions. It's about making a difference. As quiet leaders, you are uniquely equipped to lead thoughtfully and impactfully. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. I want to thank you so much again for joining me on Quietly Influential today. I'm Guin White, and I look forward to continuing our journey together, helping you harness your quiet strengths to lead boldly and effectively. So until next time, keep challenging the status quo quietly but powerfully.